Father's Day to all, yes.
Happy Father's Day. We might as well say that on the air. Happy Father's Day. Come on in, everybody. Have a seat. We see you out there. There's coffee in the back of the room if you need it. Come on in. There's plenty of room up front.
You always need coffee.
Don't be afraid. We don't bite.
There's coffee.
Come on in. Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Everybody's in the house. Mike Jimmy's in the house. Says, hey. Empyrean Vol says, good morning and happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Empyrean. Glad you're here. Morning, Empyrean. Everybody says morning. Coffee at the ready. And looking forward to the ins and outs. Lots of ins and outs today. Whatever that means. Yes. Hello, gentlemen in the chat. Waiting for the good news. Yes, Marv. Good morning, Marv. How are you? Hey, Marv. Mike Jimmy says, yes. Looking forward to the updates. Gonna be good. Going to be good. Going to be a lot of fun. Feel free to send me a link to Randy, Mike, Jimmy. I will in a minute. Give me a little bit. Will you? Where is Daphne? Hello, great panel. Where is Daphne? Daphne is busy.
She's busy. Yep. I'm her very bad replacement.
Very bad.
Do you have a parrot?
Well, see, yeah, I do. We do have a parrot in the house.
But it's not in your room right now.
Exactly.
We need a parrot cam.
Right.
Oh, you know what? Don't give Varian any ideas.
Yeah.
He'll do it if he thinks he can get a few more listeners out of it.
Yeah.
No hurries. All right, Mike, Jimmy, we'll have you on here in a minute. We got some Arrow announcements to do. We've got some campaigns to show off. We've got people to talk to. There's a lot happening, folks. We're real happy that you're here. This is the Sunday Funnies for the 20th. The 20th of June, 2020.
How did that happen?
How did that? Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
How did that happen? We're going to run the opening, then we'll get straight to business. Everybody, hang on just a second. This one's for Charles.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Marv.
Come on in, everybody. Have a seat. Glad you're here. Once again, you're here for the Sunday Funnies on the 20th of June, 2021. And we're here to talk comics. We're here to talk fun comics, lighthearted comics. Sunday mornings, we usually save it for the fun side of funny books. Just a second here. Fun side of comics.
Daphne, do we have something we want to add to this?
Yeah. And unfortunately, Daphne doesn't have anything to add to this because she's not here.
No. Like I said, she's poorly replaced by the worst half of the side. So.
Hey, everybody. I'm your host for this show. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I've been a longtime alternative and independent comics producer and creator, and I am currently working very hard to get Arrow Comics 4.0 off the ground. We just finished a crowdfunding campaign for the Indie Revolt book, of which we're very proud of. 140 pages total on that book, when you even when you count the cover. And that book is going to the printer tomorrow. So I'm just finishing up final numbers now, and we will have that ready to be shipped here in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You will get it in July, so everything is done and ready to go, except for the packing and the shipping.
Oh, the fun bit.
The real fun bit. Looking forward to it. Got the daughter coming over to help, and we're going to help clean out my basement just a little bit and get some of these packages on the way. I can't wait to take a picture before we go to the post office of all the packages lined up. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Nice.
I got a lot of people joining me today. Some that we that are involved with Arrow, and some that are kind of involved with Arrow, and we'll just go and around the room and introduce everybody. So to my right, to my left, Mr. C. Michael Lanning is here this morning. C. Michael, introduce yourself.
Morning. Hey, morning. I'm C. Michael Lanning, an independent artist. I've done work with Silverline and some upcoming stuff. It's really great to be here this morning.
Great. That was too quick.
Well, I don't have much of anything to really go on anymore. So, I'm the guy that shows up every once in a while.
Just pops in, says
Yeah,
hello.
just pops in.
Yeah. Also joining us today, Mr. Charles Santino. Charles, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Charles Santino. Been around longer than anyone here, longer than most people on the planet. Rammer, Rammur, my character on Indiegogo right now at 151% of goal. I think 15 days left. So you can check that out. And started as a pro with Marvel way back when 100,000 copies was selling, and that was the borderline for cancellation. Today, you sell 100,000 copies. You're what, the number one comic for the month?
Pretty big. Yep.
So it's a different world 35 years later.
Yeah, it's much easier to get cancelled now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can cancel yourself if you want.
There you go. Yep. Absolutely. Also joining us this morning is JD Calderon. JD, introduce yourself.
How you doing, everybody? My name is JD Calderon. I'm the writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles and Tall Tales Online, so you can go check those out there. And that's pretty much it. I got a Kickstarter running for the Oswald Chronicles. Currently, a project we love by Kickstarter. I finally got that designation.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No, good for you.
It only took 6 years and 14 campaigns. Woo!
Wow. Suddenly somebody at Kickstarter said, hey, there's this mouse book.
Exactly. Yeah.
We love this mouse book. How come we haven't given it a thing before, a tag?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think it's because it reached goal in it exceeded its, like, it went 2.5 times its what my goal was in like 3 days, and I think that's why I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, money talks.
Well,
Yeah.
those are the kind of projects Kickstarter definitely loves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure any platform would definitely love that. I don't think that we're singling out Kickstarter for any nefarious reason. Also joining us today is Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
Hello there. My name's Russ Leach. I am from the UK. I draw comics for a living. I'm very lucky to do that. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. And I've been drawing comics in anger since 2010. Had a brush with Marvel back in the 90s. Been in publishing, production, art direction for 35 years. I don't quite have the repertoire as some of these guys on the panel, but I'm just as passionate about comics.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, not about your passion. I don't doubt your passion, but yeah. I had to blow you up. Go ahead.
Can I ask Russ, why does that character have 6 nipples? I'm just curious.
Because why not?
Gotcha. Okay, there it is. All right, cool. Fine.
Why can you can never have enough nipples, surely.
Exactly.
This is particularly for the American market.
That's true. We do love our nipples. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
And to remind everybody this morning, we are TVMA DLSV. So there, you all might hear language that your kids might not want to hear, but we're here to talk about funny books anyway. So let's see, where did we leave off here? Extra testosterone show. I'm afraid so, Empyrean.
Roar.
Mike Jimmy says, don't talk down on yourself like that, JD.
Well, I mean, I give all credit to the woman in the family. That's all I'm saying. I would not be here without her. Trust me. I'd be somewhere. I'd probably be dead.
Yeah. I'd definitely be in prison without my wife.
Exactly.
Amen there. Yeah. Jake says December feels like last week, and I would have definitely been in prison if I kept my ex-wife.
They do have conjugal visits now.
Marv says, "Where's Daphne?" We already covered that before. Woof. The intro. Marv says, "Woof." Chris says, "Woohoo, woohoo." Critical Blast is special announcement. I can't take it. Yeah. Okay. We've been rolling up to this for a while. I've been talking about getting Arrow Comics off the ground for a bit. I was working on a after Indie Volt Revolt, I had planned on doing my own crowdfunding book using my little monkey character, that guy. But situation kind of shifted, and some circumstances happened. We had a great Arrow Comics special here with Ralph and Stu back in October, I believe it was. And Ralph at that time knew that his time on this earth was very limited. And I mentioned to him at the time, I was thinking about bringing back Arrow Comics, and he told me to do it and run it for as long as you can run it until you can't run it anymore. That's what he said. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to start kicking out Arrow Comics product for the retailers. We're hoping the retailers will pay attention to us. We are going to be offered we're not going to be offered through Diamond, which is going to make things a little rough, which is why we're starting to toot our horn a little early. We are going to be offered through Liberty Entertainment Distribution. And if you're a retailer out there, you might want to take a look at ledg.us at your earliest convenience. More retailers are signing on all the time. In fact, Varian has a small backlog of people that he needs to get back to, both retailers and vendors. The venting process takes a little bit, and we really want you on board for this. Liberty is a very different kind of distributor in that Liberty only distributes books that they have on hand, not books that are promised. And that's been a big retailer complaint for years, having to deal with Diamond and the other distributor is that they order 3 months in advance. And when it comes to that crazy green section, that back of the bus, as I refer to it more often than not, the delivery can be a little sketchy at times. There's a lot of retailers out there that don't trust it. They don't buy a whole lot from the green section because books are late. Books never go past number 1. You hear all of these complaints out there. Well, Arrow is hoping to address all of those complaints, beat all of those complaints, and have product available to you that you can get immediately. Nothing that Liberty is going to offer to the retailers is not already in their warehouse, ready to ship. You order books on Monday, you can, as they call, I think Varian's got I wish he was here, he's got a name for it, like ship to shelf, something like that, where all of the books coming from Liberty that you order are going to go in the mail the next day or so. They'll be right in your hands within the next couple of days after that, depending upon how fast the delivery service gets to you. They come shipped, bagged, and boarded and ready for you to take out of the box and put right on the shelf. So Arrow Comics is really proud to be associated with Liberty. It's something that Varian's been working on for a few years that we've had a lot of discussions over. And if you know about Indie Volt at all, you'll know that Varian and I have been doing podcasts for the last couple of years. I've known Varian a little longer than that, and he's been doing his research, looking around, trying to find the right system that's going to work for the retailers. And that I can't stress that often enough. So if you're a retailer out there, you definitely need to go over there and take a look at ledg.us. There is already some Arrow Comics, older Arrow Comics product available to you there. And all we're asking on those are cover price. And some of them, and granted, they're newsprint books, but some of them are thick. Some of them have all of them have really good quality product or quality in the books. You need to take a look at them and order them if you wish. They're ready to go on your shelves in your long boxes or however, and it's at a good discount. So it's at a very competitive retailing discount. They're there in order to help you make money. So we know that the last year or so, things have literally crippled this industry, and it's in need of some good saleable product. And that's really what I want to do. I've had multiple decades of experience in the alternative market, in the independent market. I'm a longtime comic reader. I've been eating comics, reading comics and breathing comics ever since I could read. And I think I've got a good idea of what can sell or what might sell and what might not. Of course, I could be wrong, but we're going to get in there and find out and see. So right now we are already working on books. I'm working on product now that's not coming out until September or October. And that's in order to get a long ramp up so that things are ready. Things will be done. Things will be printed. Things will be in Liberty's hand in time for the retailers to go up there, take a look, decide if they want to buy the book and how many they want, and put it in their stores. Liberty also, and I should pop that card back up again, Liberty also offers a trade back program. If you get a book, put it on your shelf for a while, and you don't think you're going to be able to move it, Liberty will take it back off your hands in exchange for other product. The majority of the books. I'm not sure if that applies to everything Liberty's going to carry. It'll definitely apply to the Arrow Comics books. So again, take a look at their product and their product lines and see. And it's the alternative and independent market, folks. There's going to be some really, really great quality books. There's going to be some not so great quality books. It's really up to you to decide what you're going to be able to sell to your customers.
Not from Arrow, of course, though. They're all great quality books.
They're all great quality books. Yes. Mm-hmm. We're doing our best to bring you the best. So Arrow always had Arrow ever since it started. And if you want to know the history of Arrow, there's a couple of other Sunday Funnies back up our archive line. Go over there and take a look. I especially implore you to look at the or to watch the interview we did with Ralph and Stu, because that still holds up for Arrow's history and what they've done. And the background that you see today here has a bunch of the Arrow product that's been out over the years. We've always been a creator-owned company. We've always aimed at creator ownership. Arrow doesn't own any of these properties. It's all owned by the talent that works on them. And that's always been a big thing for Arrow. That is also why Arrow Comics has come in and gone out over the years. As Arrow's been able to sustain itself, Arrow doesn't live on a huge, expansive budget. There are no big offices, no high-rise locations, no Arrow land out there. Maybe in the future, we'll never know. But we're hoping to give you some stuff. Daphne says JD's is her replacement for today. Mike Jimmy says congrats. I'm counting monkeys in the basement until my sister wakes up. Oh, now we know what the parrots eat. We're at your disposal, RV Studio. Critical Blast says, Genuine Comics, nice to hear from you. Hello, Randy, Mr. Lanning, Charles, Russ, and JD. Hi, Chet. Hi, everybody. Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. Did Russ say drawing comics in anger? Yes, he did.
That's that passion.
And that's, in passion?
No, that's that passion. You got to get in there. Just,
I was going to say that's because he worked for Marvel in the 90s, but anyway. Empyrean Vol, yes, he did. DM us on Twitter. It'll be open to the public. Okay. Daphne says 2 nipples is obscene, 6 is fine.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. It's like that scene in that movie from that Schwarzenegger movie. Anyway.
Oh, Total Recall.
Total Recall, yeah. Where the okay. All right, critical. All right, me blabbers. Like Tyron Brigham's once said, only meth can save us. No. Nope. Only death can save us.
But meth is a good option.
Dave. Well, it's it
won't be long before you meet death.
Well, Bristolian, thank you. F Diamond, hail Liberty. Liberty's been out there trying to change the system. Now, it's been a little voice in the wilderness that's starting to become a large roar. So be ready.
Good.
Not sure what that means. Randy's a bibliophage.
Phage.
Not sure about that. Oh,
that's too long a word.
That is too long of a word, especially this early in the morning for me.
I know it has something to do with books. So
still going to hit up Liberty 2. Well said, Russ. Haven't seen anything bad come from Arrow. Don't think that'll change. Don't think it will. Hopefully it won't, Mike Jimmy. I was hoping to spend my summer vacation at Arrowland. I heard the new there's a new Spank the Monkey ride. Yes, sir. That's coming.
As far as I'm aware, there's no photograph at the end of the ride like you get with another one.
As far as you've heard.
Or if there is, I think it might be called the Money Shot.
It's for future black and white purposes.
All right, so here we go, folks. What are we? 20 minutes in. Everybody's introduced. We can start talking about stuff. August is when we're going to start. Actually, we started before that with the Revolt book. You saw the Revolt, Indie Revolt book was campaigned through Indiegogo. It was, I think, pretty successful for the fact that I didn't really get out there and was able to push it as much as I'd like to. I know I'll do a lot better on my next campaign. There will be other campaigns, but there won't be another campaign for the Revolt book. That book is done. The people that ordered it are gonna get it. There'll be very few extra copies. Liberty will not be carrying the large crowdfunding campaign book because they will be carrying a 32-page monthly Revolt book that will be done in black and white. And I've got I believe I've got the first cover for that right here. Boom. Covers by Chris Skelf. It's got stories in it by who's in that book? It's got stories in it by J.R. Harris. It's got a very short Oswald story in it by J.D. Calderon, who's right here on the panel. It's got another story by, oh man, I'm gonna have to call it up now. I do know Emily Zelasco is in it, doing a fantastic black and white book. Now, this book is the only book Arrow will be doing for the time being in black and white. It's still going to be $4.95. It's going to be 32 pages, cover to cover, black and white short stories. Glenn Fleming will have a story in it. I've got a story in it that I'm really happy with. And there's a few other sources, 6 stories in all from cover to cover. This is I look at the Revolt book as being the independent comics version of Heavy Metal. Only aimed more at a family audience. There's a wide variety of stories in it. Unless there's a theme in the book, it's a very eclectic mix. Now, issue 3, we plan on having in October. We plan on having a horror-themed book. Issue 4 will probably be devoted to funny animals, not so funny animals actually, but the first 2 issues will be devoted to a very eclectic mix of stories. And just to get everybody in, there's the cover for the second book by Mr. Russ Leach. Russ has a story in the second issue that's a black and white story that we put in the campaign book with his Horseman War character in a bar fight. So it's an incredibly great story, and we'll be using Russ's cover for Revolt number 2. Revolt number 3 will have another painted cover by Mr. Chris Skelf that I don't think I have loaded up here. No, I don't. But that'll be our Halloween-themed issue. Issue 4 will be the Daphne Lage cover and of Mischievous. And that will have probably all the stories in that book will be from the Aniverse. I'm not sure yet. I'm still putting it together. So, and that'll be available in November. And from there, who knows? We're probably going to do a holiday-themed issue for number 5. We'll just have to see how it goes. And then after that, we'll be looking for more stories. The majority of the people in the Revolt books are friends of the Volt podcast network. Of course, they're showing off their stuff and all of the different genres and all the different works that they do. So you can expect a lot of black and white greatness there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It ought to be a huge eclectic mix, and we'll see how it goes. So all of the Arrow comics are going to be finally printed on, I believe it's 80-pound stock. Interior, nice white paper. All of the previous Arrow books, at least most of the Arrow books before this were all done on newsprint, but times have changed. Printers have shifted. We've got a great gang printing deal with a printer, and we will be offering these books very slick. They're going to look like they're going to look like comic books. Anyway, it'll be great.
That'll be a plus.
A real plus. Also coming monthly from Arrow Comics is going to be Hybrids from Luke Stone. We picked up that title. Most everybody that knows Luke knows that we've already picked up that title. Luke was very happy to sign on with us. Hybrids is I would label it a superhero title, a lot of superhero action in it. Main character is a superpowered character named Trash Man, but there are a lot of other characters involved in it as well. It's not just Trash Man. The full title of the book is Hybrid Sons of Gods. And we'll be monthly on that book. Right now, it is also a crowdfunded book. Luke wants me to let everybody know the crowdfunding is not going to stop. Issue 7 is on its way to being fulfilled now, and he is, in fact, working on issue 10. as we speak. So he is way up in advance on this. So this is going to be Arrow's, I believe it's our first monthly title. It's definitely our first monthly color book. And we're very proud to do this. Anybody that had gotten hybrids in the past from the campaign, these books that Arrow is going to be doing are going to be remastered versions of that. In saying that, Luke is going through the book and tightening up, because it's been a while since he's done some of these earlier issues. He's tightening up the story. He's doing new pages of art. Pardon me. He's adding new art to the books. Some of the covers are brand new, and it's really turning into a nice, solid package that Arrow is very proud to be associated with and to be printing and offering to the retailers on a regular basis. If you saw our opening, you saw the covers for 2 and 3. I'm looking at my list here to see if I saved those, and I did not. I did not put them on my main list. But we'll play that opening again on our way out the door. So this is a book that just keeps getting better and better the farther along it goes. The quality improves, everything on this book just improves so well that like I said, Arrow is really proud to be associated with this book, proud to be featuring it for the retailers and offering it for them on a monthly basis. And again, that's Hybrid Sons of God. That's going to be available monthly as of August. So Arrow is also going to be doing 2 bi-monthly titles a month. And by that, I mean we're going to have 2 titles that'll be available in August, then they'll be available again in October, then available again in December. And the first one of those, of course, is Only Death Can Save Us. A lot of folks already know also, and that's also from Mr. Russ Leach, who's here. A lot of folks already know that Arrow has picked that up to offer to the retailers. All of these books, again, are going to be 32 pages. Russ is currently crowdfunding the second book. Right now, the second book will also be offered in line with this series. The numbering won't stop. The first book that he did will be numbers 1, 2, and 3, and there will be additional material that has been added. And I've seen the material for the first issue, and I got to tell you, it's phenomenal, beautiful work that'll add and enhance to the story that you get in the crowdfunding book. Anything else you want to add to this, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, it hopefully people are going to enjoy the character. For the completionist, you can go find both the Arrow comics and the crowdfunded books. There's something for both sides that you'll get that's just a little bit special. This is the work of my life. I've been putting everything into it. It's great. I'm really enjoying myself. And the extra stuff I've been doing to fill up the back end of the first 3 issues is kind of like a fact file stroke world building prose kind of thing. I suppose it's a bit like the songs or poems from Lord of the Rings that kind of underpin the world that they live within, but you don't necessarily have to see them in the story itself. So there's all that kind of stuff, and it's all full page color material that's all being done ink traditionally now. So there's extra stuff going into those Arrow books, and then a whole bunch of extra stuff going into book 2 as well. So what I'd really like is for people to obviously buy both. That would be fantastic.
Sure, but there are a lot of people that aren't aware of the property, a lot of people that that didn't get in at the ground floor, and also I don't think you offered a retail pack, did you? A retailer here for those?
No,
I
didn't. I did go looking for retailers, but it wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. I'll be honest. It didn't make itself easy for me to do, and not that things need to be easy, but there's so many things that you need to do on a crowdfunding campaign. And also up until very recently, I've been the only person on the book, so you end up doing everything yourself as well. So it's finding the time. So yeah, the idea is that I can get like a sort of a premiere version out to my backers that are getting prints and all kinds of extra Josh keys and all kinds of stuff. But the Arrow versions are there for a wider audience to get that character out to as many people as possible, which is the point, isn't it? Getting as many people to read your communication as you possibly can. So yeah, I'm absolutely stoked to be out in the comic shops, out in the retail space, and being able to hopefully expand an audience for the project.
And for any retailers out there, any of our listeners that know retailers out there, this is an incredibly accessible title. It's a lot of fun. Those backup stories that Russ mentioned really kind of remind me of the old Tales from Asgard backups that used to be in the back of Thor so long ago. If you've been reading comics for many many years,
they're kind of somewhere between those and the DC Fact Files as well. It's that kind of thing. Yeah.
I think I've got the second cover for that here. We definitely put that in the opening. There's the cover.
I like the Kirby crackle.
Yeah, always
love a bit of Kirby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have the second. Well, yes, no, I don't. I don't have the second cover here available for posting. But on our way out, again, we will run that opening, and you'll be able to see that second cover. It's really sweet.
Hey, Russ, who's doing your coloring?
I've done my own so far.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh well, I'll be honest. The one on the front cover there, that wasn't me. For the interiors, I've done kind of like a retro feel, and on the covers, I've gone a little bit more modern. And I got someone called Mike Summers to do the cover colors. He's fantastic, and he works a lot with Unstoppable Comics, who are also working through Liberty as well. And they'll have some of the stuff that I've done for Unstoppable. I believe will be going through Liberty. Is it Interceptor?
I'm pretty sure that JD Rosario, who runs Unstoppable Comics, will be offering his library through Liberty here.
Yeah. I did the first two copies of first two issues of Interceptor, and Mike Summers colored those, and I've done most of the Storm Chasers books for him as well. So yeah, there's more stuff out there for people to look at. But of course, I don't get a kickback off that because I've already been paid. So buy Only Death Can Save Us, because that's the book to have.
Bibliophage means eat books. When you said you've been eating comics, yes, okay.
Yum, yum.
Num. I heard it's a hanging roller coaster going backwards. Yes, it is. That's very much like life. That's Spanking General. So that's awesome. Question: will Revolt have a PDF file for sale? Marv, the 32-page book will not. There are no plans for it for the time being.
Are you kidding?
That doesn't mean that there won't be.
We all know that pirating is killing the industry. Good Lord.
Yes. Arr.
Arr.
As soon as we get ahoycomics.com up and running, we'll be set. No, just kidding. There aren't any digital plans for Arrow at the moment, but that does not mean that there won't be some available down the road. So I've already been talking to a few people about offering digital files for sale, but when we do, probably won't be on Comixology. So, but I'm not sure yet. So when and if we ever do anything digital, Marvy, I will make sure that and we'll be making a big announcement about it. So, but right now, our main concern with Arrow is to give retailers something that they can put on their shelves, hopefully that they like, that they have enough confidence in, that they're going to be able to sell. So that's really our big push at the moment. That doesn't mean we won't go in other directions as soon as possible. So, Jake says I'll submit something. Jake, we'll talk. Doing a European-based issue would be cool. Yes, it would be. Absolutely. And believe me, if Revolt takes off, all of these books, I do have to tell you, are crapshoots. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's going to sell and what's not going to sell. I've been doing a comic newspaper for 10 years and have just gotten back in to start to look at the market. And what I'm looking at, the quality-wise, is just sometimes I'm dismayed that a lot of these retailers are still alive out there with some of the quality of the product that's out there, especially in the writing and just the execution, the flimsy gimmicks that a lot of these companies have been pulling. And I should also point out at this point, Arrow plans on no variant covers. They're planning on no extra addeds. We are going to keep doing some crowdfunding work that'll be available, on Indiegogo or Kickstarter or other platforms, depending upon who we're talking to. But other than that, right now, we just want to do straight books. We want to do the work. We want to get them out there. And by straight books, I mean regular comics. We want to get them out there and get them in the hands of readers. So that's really our big goal. Going to have to move. Got to move to the city. Mike, Marv, now the city's too busy. Oh, okay. Side conversations. Got it.
Mhm.
So far away from me, the shipping, what a nightmare. Yes, understood, Marv. We are going to try to have to work on that. Here in the States, we're starting to see some prices rebound after the bug problems that we've had. And maybe the shipping will follow suit, we're hoping. The VAT tax over in England, though, we're not sure about. We're not in control of that. That's all on that side of the pond. Right, Mr. Russ?
I've been hearing this thing. Do you have to pay extra VAT to send stuff to the UK?
Tremendous. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I don't. Even if it's sent as, because obviously if you're sending crowdfunding stuff,
That's what we're hearing.
It doesn't count as point of sale, does it?
Yeah.
It counts as other, so you don't have to pay the VAT on it.
Well, I'm not sure. I just know that shipping to England right now is really bad.
Oh dear.
And incredibly high. It's almost cheaper, or it is cheaper to send to a third party country and then have them shipped to you.
Wow.
Bizarre, because adversely, it's really quite reasonable for me to post to the US.
Yeah. Yep. Climbing up the comments again. What a great cover. They're all great covers, Marvy. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but quality work, guys. Thank you very much. You haven't seen it all yet. Mike Jimmy says you got to see the market first, but anything can sell. Absolutely. Indie Princess is in the green room right now. Hopefully she'll be coming in soon. I'll catch you later. The wife is calling. Be safe, everybody. Take care, Marvy. Take care. Take care. That's our, we mentioned we were doing bi-monthly books. We mentioned that Russ will be doing Only Death Can Save Us. Also in August is a book I'm really happy to offer. And it's an off-the-wall title. I'm telling you, but it's a lot of fun for me to do. It's called HeroBot Zero. And that is the adventures of a 3-foot-tall giant robot that fights large monsters and defends his city from menaces. And he has a very, very bad attitude. He doesn't like to work off the clock at all. He insists on hazard pay. He is the product of a young man, Mr. Tippy Totak, whose family runs Totak Tech. There's Tippy right there. And his mom. His dad is currently out of the picture because he ended up making a dimensional projector that he accidentally fell into. So Tippy is hoping someday to send HeroBot Zero into that dimension in order to rescue his dad. That's going to be an ongoing subplot throughout the early books in order to rescue him. But quite frankly, HeroBot doesn't want to do it unless he gets hazard pay. So other than that, this is a giant, what you could call a giant monster book. It heralds back to a lot of the stuff I used to love watching when I was a kid on Saturday morning. Your Godzilla movies, your Saturday afternoon, your Johnny Sacco, all of that with a lot of fun. This is a tenacious little 3-foot-tall robot who just doesn't give up, but he's also got a complete arsenal on his body. So anything that you can imagine that he can throw at a monster, he does. So it's a lot of fun. Hopefully with no real cursive language. This is a family-friendly book, but if he does swear, it'll be in those old cartoon lightning bolt and sign kind of things. The artwork on this is cartoonish, like you're seeing here for the cover. It's a lot of fun. I have a number of friends that are working on the product with me, along with Randy Schilling. We're going to print a story by Jason Ball that I've been hanging on to for years, and Empyrean Vol actually has a story that I need to talk to him about that looks really awesome, and a lot of other things going on. So with this title, it's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to doing it. This is going to be 2 or 3 short stories, very much like Rammer.
It has go-go checks.
And go-go chicks, yeah. It's meant to be. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyed. And once you get to know the character, it's a mighty might of might. It's his little tagline. The opening stories has the first issue has his origin in it. It's got him fighting a gigantic sponge type beast that's soaking up every oddball thing it can absorb, called the Absorb Being. And it's also got a 10-page story involving a pothole portal, where a druid is driving his car down the street and hits a deep pothole and curses it, and turns into an interdimensional portal, and large monsters start coming up. So
I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Everyone's had that happen. Yeah. And that's the type of story that you're going to find in this book. Nice, lighthearted, fun adventure stories. They'll, like I said, there'll be little subplots, but for the most part, each issue will have at least 2 or 3 or even 4 or more short stories in it. This particular issue has got 4 short stories in it. One of them's only 3 pages long, but it was a lot of fun to do. And it's got a real obvious sight gag that, kind of a trope we had to get out of.
Can you show us more interior pages?
I can, but it'll take a second. I can show you the front, side, and back of the character. Give me a second, and I can pull up a couple pages for you.
Oh,
Not a problem. Let me kick up my Photoshop here.
it's got toys written all over it.
Yeah.
Oh, and again, this is a character I've been sitting on for quite a while. We actually created it way back when Arrow Comics was first out, and I called it BattleBot to start with. And
Hey, Randy, I got to
yeah.
tell you, it's a really great design. There's a lot of characters out there that are not that well thought out design-wise, but this is really intriguing.
it's a lot of fun. Like I said, here is. Let me pop this up. Let me get back here. Here is the. Here is the first page of the origin story. Right there. Whoop.
Yeah, it starts out with action.
I'll just a quick scene, and then we go over to Toe Tack Tech, and then Tippy introduces him to the robot, and he gets laughed at. He says, I've come up with a hero for the city. It's my robot. And the reporter laughs at him, and he gets all depressed and goes to bed. And then the janitor is out cleaning the floors at Toe Tack Tech, and he sees a set of headphones and tries to dial in some music, and instead ends up putting his personality into the robot. And that becomes HeroBot Zero. So he becomes an angry guy who likes to work on the clock.
Nice.
I like giant insects.
Inside, all sorts of monsters here. I've been doing a lot of fun research on this. So it's been a lot of, like I said, it's been a lot of fun. And hopefully that's going to come through on the work here. I got another page I can show you here. Let me blow that up. This is him using his fist. Like I said, this is an old style monster fight book at times. But the real lesson here is that the character has tenacity, and he's always coming back and trying to find the next solution. So he's got a little flying fist that pops out here and hits the monster with no effect. And he goes, I got to stop using this flying fist. Never seems to work. He goes back and tries to grab the monster and pull him back to the harbor and can't do it. And he comes out of the harbor. It's a water-based monster. And the monster ends up yelling at him. So, and again, a lot of fun. Meant to be a lot of fun. Hopefully the retailers will enjoy it. Hopefully the readers will love it. And we'll make toys and games and cartoons and all sorts of great things. Then in September, we'll be offering Revolt #2, and that will have Russ's story in it with Russ's cover. We'll be offering Hybrids #2 from Luke Stone, of course. And then we have 2 books that'll be alternating with HeroBot and Only Death Can Save Us. And the first one of those is Scrolling down. First one of those is Paragon. And that's a superhero book. I'm having a lot of fun with. I hope I've got the first issue just about done. I've got 2 more pages to letter, and the print file on that is complete, and it's ready to go to the printer. And an inside front cover I still have yet to do. But this is an old style superhero fun book with a kind of a modern twist to it. It's what if suddenly there was a super being that popped up as a superhero on Earth, and how people would react to it. And again, it's a lot of fun. The artwork on this book is by Mr. J.R. Harris, who I printed originally back in Flint Comics some 8-9 years ago, I believe. And JR has been doing a number of works for a number of people. He's been getting better and better all the time. And this is a story that we originally serialized a little bit of it in Flint Comics. We finished it, put it in color, and that's the first issue for Paragon. And things will take off from there. Who the character is, how the character is received, everything that happens after that's going to be a lot of fun. One of the things that always bothered me about Superman, especially lately, is that he's been treated as such a godlike character. And this character is a superpowered human, or a superpowered human type being, I should say, that leaps, super strong, super hearing, just in heightened senses, and wants to genuinely go out and do good in the world. So, and it's modern day. It's going to be a lot of fun. The costume is made up of a baseball helmet, jockey silks, and moon boots, as they go out and deal with society. Because where is there a super tailor?
Right.
There's nobody out there to make a super suit. In fact, that's part of the problem that the character deals with, is the fact that they get hit by bullets, or the suit catches on fire and it needs to be repaired. How's that going to happen? So it's a lot of fun. JR has brought a nice cartoony style. This is JR's art here for the cover, and real happy to be associated with the book. I think I'm hoping that folks will like it and enjoy it, and really enjoy the story as it unfolds. Have a lot of things planned for it and can't wait to show it to you. Another book I absolutely cannot wait to show you is the exact opposite from Paragon, where Paragon's grounded in reality, has modern stories. The next book and the last book we're offering in our initial run will also be bi-monthly in September. Mr. C. Michael Lanning will be doing the artwork for it, and that is Calico of Shard. And that's going to be a high concept fantasy book with a talking female cat as the lead.
Wow.
It has a whole eclectic mix of characters that end up following her, almost like, not quite like Wizard of Oz, but would you say, Michael?
No, I don't know. I like it better than Wizard of Oz as far as that.
Well, that's because you're working on it. Thank you, though.
Right? Yeah. So,
and this is a property I've been working on for ever since I was a kid. In fact, when I was still in high school, I was able to do a comic strip for my local weekly newspaper, that I called Silvermane at the time. Silvermane, JD called him Silvermane.
There you go. There's a lot of them out there.
There is, and that was about a young boy, but the young boy has now become a young cartoon female cat. So,
nice.
But her companions on this is Lindy Jax, that's right next to Calico. There, Calico's the main orange cat in front. Lindy Jax is a trading elf who has a magical elf who has a deep need to trade things. He's got an entire collection in his bag here that he can go into it and dip into at times. And in fact, his need for trading things gets them into the initial trouble. As Lindy Jax here runs across Valhalla, who is the female centaur character here. She's a centaur warrior character from the High Plains, the Eastern Plains. Valhalla of the Eastern Plains is how she introduces herself. The two of them are at the kind of a king's residence, and Lindy does a trade that goes wrong and then ends up being chased. And then the chasing as he goes along involves Calico, and also this little guy up there in the middle who is a barbarian fairy character called Rut. And her and Rut are out. Rut's retired. He's no longer doing mercenary work or pirating work, and he's out helping Calico in the field, and they end up running across Hannah and Lindy as they're being chased, and the story just progresses from there. Then the other character here in the back, the Gandalf-looking character, is named Virgilian, and he's kind of a wise wizard that ends up popping in on the second issue. But the story takes off and starts unfolding. You get to learn the world. There are all sorts of great fantasy things going on, flying snake dragons, ships in the air, spells everywhere, giant and small monsters running all over the place. A mean king, a nasty Quasimodo toad type character that's chasing after them. Mike's having a blast.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Looking at a script and going, how the hell am I going to draw this?
Oh man, they always say that when you start a comic book, it's impossible. So you first start, so it always feels impossible. But once you get into it, you get the flow.
I am currently coloring and finishing the lettering on the first issue on this, and it will be ready to go for September. And this will be a bi-monthly book from Arrow Comics. All the Arrow books are going to be $4.99 cover price, which by the time August rolls around, everybody's going to be $4.99 at that point. But our books are going to be 32 pages thick, hardly any ads. If there are any ads to start with, they're going to be house ads and advertising our own product or other product. Yeah. And doing a 32-page book can be a little crazy at times. That's see Michael's laughing there. JD's laughing. Anybody who's had to do 32 pages on a regular basis knows that. So Arrow Comics has a way of getting around this that I've come up with that I've been wanting to try for a while, that we're going to be doing in the back of the books that run short. And everybody's story at times, because of the story length or the way that it's written, sometimes it ends at 20, sometimes it ends at 24, sometimes you get to 32 and you go, oh boy, how am I going to finish this off in order to fit it into a book? Or can I print an extra 4 pages and finish off this chapter? So with Arrow Comics that end up coming up a little short, plus in Revolt, this character is going to start out in Revolt. We've got a character that we're doing. It's going to be a serial called Ginger Star. And that is kind of a cross between, the way I introduce it is a cross between John Carter and Buck Rogers and Laura Croft. A young girl off on a college internship in Peru at an archaeological dig ends up being teleported over into a world of kind of a retro futuristic world. Jetpacks, ray guns, giant monsters, lots of fins, just crazy stuff. And then she not only has to get home or figure out how to get home, but she also has to figure out how to talk to people. So, and that's a lot of fun. These are going to be in 6 page installments. The first installment runs in Revolt in the back of the, in fact, I put it in the Revolt book as an added bonus, and it runs in the back of the Revolt #1. The second chapter of this will be in the back of Calico #1. The following month, the third chapter will be in Revolt #2. So, and yes, the story is going to flip from black and white to color off and on, depending upon the needs of the book. So if it's a color book, the episode will be in color. If it's a black and white book, it'll be in black and white. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a continuing serial. It's going to run just like those old serials that they used to have in the theaters. It'll run from cliffhanger to cliffhanger as we move the story along. That world will also unfold. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fun being done. J.R. Harris is doing the artwork for this, and he's really having a ball working on it. And this has got everything from large dinosaurs to mole people to flying birdmen to everything that you would expect from like a Buck Rogers or a Flash Gordon book, only it's through the eyes of a young girl. So it's as the lead. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's what we have planned initially for Arrow Comics. And we'll be running, like, for example, here's a rundown, the first Ginger Star ad. We'll be running ads in the back of all of the Arrow Comics, or as many as we can fit in there, giving you a guideline as to where you can find the next chapter of Ginger Star. They're meant to just be read and enjoyed. You don't have to pick them all up, but we're hoping that you're going to want to pick them all up in order to follow the entire story, because it's going to run from situation to situation, be a lot of fun. So along with that, we have our Indie Volt half-page ad that'll be running as well. But the list here to the right will always be changing as the different chapters are introduced, where you can keep going to find it. And we're going to make this also available, might even make it available to other publishers. We're not sure yet, but right now it'll be in the Arrow Comics product that wants it in there. We're not going to make creators, it's a creator-owned company. We're not going to make creators take a chapter, but if somebody comes up short 6 pages and they want a chapter, they'll be welcome to take one on. So, but right now it'll be bouncing through Revolt, HeroBot, Calico, Paragon, depending upon how the story falls for each individual issue. We hope folks will follow it. We hope folks will have a lot of fun with it. We're looking forward to bringing it to you.
Oh yeah.
And those books are $4.99, yeah.
All of the books will be $4.99,
which means they'll be cheaper than a lot of the other books out there at the moment.
Well, right now, it looks like both Marvel and DC will have a base cover price of $4.99 by the time August rolls around.
I thought they were going to $5.99.
Some of them are going to $6.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going up.
Yeah.
And then they're still going to have their ads. So
they're still going to have their ads.
And are they 32 pages?
Yeah. We're going to be mostly 32 pages with no ads. You might have one or two, like I said, house ads. Or if we find some advertisers, you never know. But if we do, it will not be overrunning the content of the book. I was looking through an old Battlestar Galactica a few weeks ago, and I'm like going, 2 pages of comics, 2 pages of ads, 2 pages of comics, 2 pages of ads, 2 pages of comics, 3 pages of ads, 1 page of comic. It was crazy.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
I don't remember that from when I was a kid. I don't remember that ever being a problem. But looking back on it now, I'm like, how did anybody ever pick up these books? Well, they were only 35 cents back then.
That's why.
50 cents. That's why. Yeah.
And
but you don't see that now.
You don't, so.
Yeah, you don't see them passing that savings on to the reader. You know, they just keep jacking the price up on these books. Well, our books are $5.99 because we're not as big as the big guys. We have a much smaller print run than they do. And we're just, like I said, we're just printing them and hoping that the retailers will take them on, will enjoy them, will put them on their shelves, display them. And again, all of the Arrow product will be available through Liberty Entertainment Distributors, ledg.us. So let's go back up the line here. Hey, Randy, what think that link? Oh, Mike. Yeah, Mike, it's coming. Don't see it. Send me a PM on Facebook, Mike, real quick, and I'll send you that link. In the meantime, we'll talk. I got you. Here we go. In the meantime, we'll get a little bit more underway with our guests. Those are the announcements that Arrow has. That's probably our printing plans through the end of the year, except, hopefully, we're going to do one more crowdfunding book that everybody has been bugging me about, that we can finally get underway. And that's, I've got people working on that right now, and that's going to be an Anniverse Omnibus. So we want to collect all of the stories, all of the short stories that have floated out there. And Tales from the Anniverse has been out since the mid 1980s. It's gotten a lot of attention. There's still a lot of people out there that remember that title, which amazes me. And humbles me anytime anybody mentions it. But I really want to get back into that. I really want to get back into the stories, introduce you again to those characters. There's a great mischievous story in the Revolt campaign book that Daphne Lage and JD did. There's a Retro Ram story that Ralph Griffith ended up plotting, Stuart Kerr scripted, Mark Bloodworth laid out, and Jason Moore finished as kind of a tribute to Ralph. It's a story Ralph had always bugged me about doing. And I said, Ralph, just write it, just plot it out, and we'll get it done. In fact, one of the cover sets for the campaign book was done by Kirk Jarvin and Jason Moore and Chris Hall about that story that featured Retro Ram. I was really happy to print that. And the only place that story might be, I might end up printing it in Revolt, but right now I don't have any plans to. So that the campaign book might be the only place you're going to be able to find that story, at least for the foreseeable future. So HeroBot Zero, Empyrean yells. Mike Jimmy says, I love that style. Love Monster of the Week series. Going to be a lot of fun. Reminds me of a Fawcett comic. Thank you very much. That's I've been doing a lot of looking at Fawcett material and Empyrean. I take that as a deep compliment. And I thank you. He's just too absorbs. Yeah. Yep. So, hey, Randy, that link there, you got it. Mike Jimmy, you're in the back room right now. I'll bring you in here in just a second. Good morning, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all. A cool looking character. Pop Culture Avenger says, thank you very much. Hey, a Pop Culture Avenger. Randy needs to experience the joy of having a basement full of HeroBot Zero vinyl toys. I'm sure JD knows a little bit about that. That'll be fun.
That's something
That makes the monkey comment make a lot more sense.
Mhm.
That makes what?
The monkey comment from earlier make a lot more sense.
Oh, monkey. Yeah. Her counting monkeys. Yeah. Hello, Mike Jimmy. Hello, Daphne. Hello, everybody. Daphne. At least you have a basement. I have shelves in the living room. Oh, there you go, Mike Jimmy. I wear that same stuff around the house sometimes. I'm not sure who Imperial was talking there.
Of the moon boots.
The moon boots, yeah, strictly for comfort. There we go. Period Vol, nothing wrong with a classic tunic. LMAO. Yep. Damn. Sorry, way behind on the chat. Man, I love that style. Thank you to whose ever style that is. I'm in disbelief. Daphne hasn't had her furry paws into this. IP. Smiley face. She, like I said, Jake, she's done a mischievous story. Actually, Daphne works on her own stuff all the time. And when we mentioned the Revolt book was coming out, I just offhandedly mentioned to Daphne, hey, if you'd want to do a mischievous story, I'd love to print it. And she went, really?
Hold me back.
And so, yeah, exactly. That's getting done. So, and then she sent me that great cover out of the blue, or that great art piece, I should say, that turned into a cover. It's like, I got to make a cover out of that. And so if you want to, if you're wondering why the Indie Revolt book has got 2 cover sets, it's a flip book, so that you can turn it over and go in on the other side. There are 2 cover sets on that book, all because of Daphne. She sends me that mischievous piece, and I'm like, I'm going to have to use that as a cover. So, Jake, that's only because there's humans involved too. Smiley face. Mike Jimmy, never read House of Bob, have you? Yeah, here you go. Jake Twister, not yet. No. Okay. Anyway, up the line. I've been bothering Randy for that Anniversary collection since I met him. There we go. Yep. One of many. It's coming. It's coming. Jason Moore is very interested in it. He's going to be helping me out on it. There will be new material in the book, as well as old material, old material, and really, really old material that nobody has ever seen before. I've got a box full of production drawings and stuff that we've done over the years, and near misses, and artwork that's never been seen, and stories that have never been published, and stories that were published in stray places. We're going to collect that all together into one giant book. I can't even tell you how big the book will be or what it'll look like at this point. I do have a couple of covers for it though that we'll be using for it that I've been sitting on for decades that I'm really happy with. You're not supposed to read House of Bob. That's what Daphne says. I guess it's meant to be looked at. Indie Princess, how are you today?
Dead.
but you're here.
I did
Yeah.
15 shots last night.
I was looking for backer shots up online. It's not on Varian's YouTube channel.
No, it's on mine.
Oh, okay. Now I know where to find it. That's over at the Indie Princess YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'll go over there and look at that later today. I need to bring Mike Jimmy in. He's been so patient. Mike Jimmy,
Woo,
how are you?
finally. Hey.
Finally. Hey.
All right, you can go now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, the hour's over. Goodbye, guys.
Okay, see ya. No, just kidding. Well, we have other guests here on this program. Thanks for listening to the Sunday Funnies. We're just rounding the top of the hour. I have no idea what our radio numbers are because Varian's in charge of that, and Varian's sleeping in longer than the Indie Princess, apparently.
He stayed up all night with me.
Oh, no. Again?
Oh, yeah.
I puked twice on camera, and then I puked again. We got off camera.
You're
And he
Sounds
stayed up with me.
horrible.
Are we going to
liquid
stop
cocaine.
drinking the liquid cocaine now?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
That was all that fun. Why?
Charles, let's
Yes.
talk about Rammer.
Shall we? Yeah, it's on Indiegogo
Yeah.
right now at 151%, I think. And that's RAMMUR. And he's a master thief in a future police state. And that, as I've been saying, is maybe the shortest elevator pitch in entertainment right now. And if you're afraid of a little bit of testosterone, this comic is not for you.
Rawr.
His main concerns are money and women in that order.
Rawr.
Rar.
Because the money will get you the women, but generally it does not work the other way around.
Ain't that the truth?
Ugh.
Oh, please.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Hopefully you can see that. Yes. Awesome. There's Mr. Rammer right now.
I think we got 15 more days on this, something like that.
Master thief in a future police state. 15 days left.
15 days left, plenty of time for people who have been sitting on the fence, just kind of looking and thinking, I need to do that. Well, yes, you need to do that.
You do.
So jump in.
And I want to run that. Trailer. I had to go out and set it up for sound. Here we go. And that's Rammer, currently available on Indiegogo.
On newsprint.
On newsprint.
All self-contained stories, no origin, no backstory, nothing. Just heist, caper, a little bit of violence. Sex is off camera. Cursing is maybe hell and damn. So we're maybe PG-13. Not even a hard PG-13.
And I saw on Facebook yesterday where you were talking about the creation of the character and how the great Joe Staten actually had a.
He was the first. Yeah, he was the first one to draw Rammer back when it was spelled with an E. But yeah, that was quite some time ago, and really 3 different artists contributed. Paulo Perez is my main artist, and he was the final designer, so I call him and Joe and Andrew Wendell the co-creators.
Cool.
Got to give them credit.
Yeah.
Set that back up here. Just a great character. Sorry, getting rehooked up here.
And the book is finished. It's 48 pages. There's 4 stories. The lead story is 24 pages. There's a backup Rammer story of 6 pages and 2 backup Topps Tales of the Police State stories of 4 and 2 pages. The police state stories are unconnected to Rammer in that he's not in them, but it takes place in his world. And these are funky, depressing little vignettes of life in the police state.
Cool.
Jet boots.
Yeah, he's powered by hydrogen. Might be the first hydrogen-powered hero or anti-hero. So it's clean energy. He sucks in those hydrogen atoms in the ram scoop that's on his chest, and there's a compact fusion reactor strapped to his back, and all of that powers his wrist blasters and his jets on his boots. And here we see him in his off-duty mode, in red and without the gear. He ends up being on duty. He didn't want to be on duty, but he has to be. He's being followed here. Not a good idea.
I have tops.
That's the alternate cover, which is inside. It's not an actual alternate cover, and it's number 0. There's a freebie. If you go to my website on Facebook, you'll see the information on getting the freebie preview issue. But that cover is inside the book as well. There's the contents page. And that's Rammer in his bolero jacket as opposed to his trench coat. He's very fashionable.
Really nice design on that.
Thank you. And there's a propaganda poster. This is one of the perks, but it's also in the book as well. And this was done by Matt Chick, a New York City artist. And that colors in the background is the flag of the Global Freedom Authority. That is the police state.
Sweet.
And there's the cover of the comic within the comic.
Nice.
In the future, you will be a criminal.
Yeah, that's because everything will get you in trouble. Everything you do.
Who's the artist on that cover? It's really nice.
That would be Dave Bardin, Bardin, who I found quite some time ago and through an agency. But he was one of his illustration agencies, but somehow he was reasonably priced and did this cover, and I'm very, very happy with it. I told him to give me a Soviet-style propaganda poster for this.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Did his job, that's for sure.
This is a possible cover for issue number 2. It's going to be a lot of robots in Rammer. And maybe I might throw a giant insect in there because I loved your giant insect, Randy.
Yeah, thank you. Robots are cool. Giant insects are cool too. Yeah, part of my research for HeroBot is I got a couple of omnibuses of the old monster books that Kirby and Ditko did for Marvel.
Yeah, plenty of insects in there.
All sorts of fun. All sorts of fun. Just great stuff. You don't really realize how much fun that is till you go back and look. Like we've talked about this before on Sunday Funnies. Growing up, you have certain artists that you just can't stand. Like back when I was a kid, Kirby always drove me crazy. Never liked Frank Robbins at all. Heck was always a problem. Now you go back and you look at their work, and you just in awe and admire it for completely different reasons. Just amazing stuff.
Everyone has a Kirby moment.
Don Heck's early stuff. Don Heck's really early stuff. His westerns, his war stories, his horror stories are pretty amazing. I don't think he really should have been drawing superheroes ever, but he got corralled into doing that. I think he was much better on straight stuff.
I feel the same way about Vinnie Coletta inking.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you go back and look at his romance stories; they're phenomenal, just beautiful stuff. And then you look at his inking, and you go, "Ooh." even to this day, there's not a whole lot of artists that just are like fingernails on a chalkboard. But
now the later issues he did of Thor, starting maybe around, let's say 145, 146, I am convinced he was handing the stuff off to assistants because it looks much better than the earlier stuff. It's much cleaner. And in fact, that's when I started buying it because it looks so much better, and I didn't really care why. Go ahead.
I've been seeing a lot of discussion online about how many background characters he used to erase.
Oh yeah, well you can find a lot of that. The Kirby Collector magazine always shows the pencil pages, what they look like before he inked and did his inking and erasing. And you realize how good Kirby's no matter how simple or complicated his layouts were, they were always perfectly balanced. Because you take a figure out here, you take a figure out there, and all of a sudden it's off balance. Even if it was just a tiny little figure in the background, Coletta would erase it, and then you look at the finished product and something is just slightly off.
And again, he had been doing it for so many decades; it was literally instinctual at that point. You know how to make everything look balanced, and he just put in enough detail to
Well, I heard about
enough.
how he used to draw, and I still find it amazing whenever I think about it or read about it, how he would just start in, I think, the upper left-hand corner of the page,
I've heard that
and he
story.
would just kind of draw from one corner of the page to the other, almost as if he was a scanner. And he had it in his head, and he just had this stylus in his hand, and his head was telling him where his hand should go.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't sketching. He was just kind of throwing the image that was in his brain onto the page from one corner to the other. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those kind of apocryphal Kirby stories just send
Mm-hmm.
shivers down artists' spines.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Try doing 5 pages a day.
Yeah.
It doesn't help with a young artist, because if you've ever watched the How to Make Comics the Marvel Way, when he's got Basim up there, he's like, we don't use erasers. Stan Lee's like, we don't use erasers here. We don't make mistakes at Marvel. I was like,
Yeah,
no,
right.
no.
So why do we see all these unpublished covers? And the one thing I don't understand about unpublished covers, and there are so many of them, especially for Marvel, is why are they inked? If you didn't like the cover, why did you have somebody ink it? It's the same cover. It's the same layout. It's the same supposedly wrong picture. I don't get it. Why were they inked? To give people work? To make work for people? I don't understand it.
Didn't Stan Lee do a bit of that? Just literally giving stuff out so that people had work.
It must be, but these covers are all over the place, and there's a lot of them that are just in pencil, but there's a whole bunch of them. Probably the majority that I've seen are inked.
There's another big story back in the 50s, back when comic sales were dropping, that Stan would hand out scripts and get scripts from people and have no plans on where they were going to be published. And that is his uncle, who owned Marvel, Martin Goodman, come in one day and opened a closet door and saw nothing, floor to almost ceiling, full of pages, unpublished pages.
Thousands of pages. Yeah.
And told Stan not to hire any or get any more artwork done until all of that was gone.
It's like there goes the publishing schedule, right?
Yeah.
Right out the window. Joe, from the desk of a small press publisher, are you hanging in there, Lola? Not easy being Tony Montoya.
Oh my
Or
God.
Montana.
I am up. I'm okay. I'm drinking
Yeah, you
water.
sound a little bitter.
Marion, are you in the house?
Last week.
I am.
Oh, you sound almost as bad as Lola.
Wow.
Wow.
That sounded nothing like you.
The weird thing is that I didn't do any drinking.
You didn't.
But
The contact
I had to stay up with her last night. So
True love when you can hold back your spouse's hair.
Fumes,
Yeah.
mate. Fumes. It's like secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
and you guys gotta understand, see, there's a whole after show you don't see. Like
we don't want to see.
It's like getting her to bed so she can lay down, and then she wants to do the one thing that I used to be so glad she never wanted to do ever, which is talk to me. She wants to cuddle and she wants to talk, which are two traits I find undesirable.
You know, you got to be careful. You saw Breaking Bad. You know how Jesse's girlfriend died.
Yeah. And that was a shame because that was that was I like her. I like that actress. Yeah, Kristen Ritter. Yeah. That was her. Broke my heart.
Very graphically done too, and it was probably a computer generated special effect, but it was so simple and so quick and so minimal. But it was pretty frightening.
We're here to talk about the fun side of comics.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, that's what we're here for.
Choking on your own vomit.
It was a very funny night. I'll say this, guys, too. I've been doing a lot of reading about comics, and Randy, I am pretty sure this industry has always been screwed.
Isn't that great though? Isn't that wonderful?
It is.
That's why I love reading. Like I've said before, I love reading about comic history because of that. You get to see all of the little screws that happened, all the nonsense that went on, and yet there's art.
Yeah. I mean, there's art, and there's I'm reading a book right now that's basically a Wortham apology piece. Yeah.
That Wortham wrote, or what?
No.
That tore apart Seduction of the Innocent?
No. It's actually Wortham was a progressive liberal who actually stood up for civil rights.
What?
Well, that's actually true.
Yeah.
In a very perverted way, it's true.
Yeah, I can't abide by that.
He was a complicated man. That's what
that's complicated man.
Yeah.
I always wondered if Wortham and Marston ever met one another and if they had any serious talks. Because a lot of the stuff that Wortham talks about in Seduction of the Innocent was stuff that later on, once people got a chance to look back and reflect at what Marston has done, we're like going, yeah, probably.
Well, I was hoping that they had a little deal, hey man, what you said about me last week really, really hurt. Here's your check. Keep it up.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping that was happening.
He didn't help. Wortham didn't help comic sales any. And
Arian, are you referring?
By the time that stuff sprung up, Marston had already passed from cancer.
Are you referring, Varian, to Wortham's work in Harlem?
Well, they talked about everything he did for civil rights and the
clinic. He had a free clinic in Harlem.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. So he was a complicated man.
Yeah. Now, what you say a free clinic? But I mean, what services was he providing? Was it just medical?
Psychological services to poor young black kids?
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I lived in Harlem for a while, and a lot of us were crazy.
As a Dutchman, hearing Harlem means like a city 20 miles to either direction.
Well, hey, I live in a town called Wynantskill, which is the creek of a guy named a creek named after a guy named Wynant. And I'm sure you know the history of New York State. Mm-hmm. It's all Dutch.
Yeah.
Well,
and Harlem for us is about 5 miles. It's about 4 or 5 miles from me, and it's probably 5 times the size of your city.
It's probably bigger than Amsterdam.
It's not a small area. It's huge.
Yeah, and I live near Amsterdam, New York.
Well, there you go. And probably that Amsterdam is going to be bigger than our Amsterdam.
But I'd rather be in your Amsterdam, Mike.
No, you don't.
No,
it's a construction hole.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, it's Michigan.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they said in this book as well that the creativity at that point was so an embarrassment of riches when it came to the creatives, and they said that we don't really have that now because we've been licked by movies. We've been our creatives go to the movies and say, man, how can I replicate that, rather than how can I beat that?
Mhm.
How can I show people stuff they've never seen before? And you hear all these, special effects guys say, "Oh man, yeah, I remember when they used to do this in comics, and I want to be able to replicate that and do this and do that." And we don't do that anymore in comics.
No.
And it made me think, like pushing an envelope is always important, and it's probably why we really like the Golden Age stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that might be true over at the big two, but I think on the indie level, I think we are trying to push the envelope. I think we are trying to do things a little differently. What Randy's trying to do with Arrow, obviously what Charles is trying to do, what Mike is trying to do, what I'm trying to do. We're all trying to push the envelope, but that's on our level. And, we don't have a choice. We have to make our product better than what they're doing, or else we'll never get noticed,
Randy, you did your Arrow announcement?
I did. I'm sorry you missed it.
Yeah, did you announce my official Arrow position as mail clerk?
No.
Is that a promotion?
Boy now.
Is that a promotion?
Yeah. Mail clerk and office boy?
I'm going to have to go through and change all of the inside front covers now, though.
Yeah.
But I will. Well, we'll have that in as of September. Very
okay. All right.
Mail clerk. Yeah. That'll be great.
Yeah.
You'll be the first regular staff employee.
Yeah. Gotta work my way up.
I'll pay you more than you pay me to be on the podcast. I'll give you free books.
By a multiple of 10.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to pay him even.
I'll pay him the same. Yeah, I'll pay you the same. It'll be good. It's matching funds.
There you go.
Glenn B. Fleming says, I've been to both Harlems. I know where I'd rather be.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot easier to get there from here anyway, like 2 trains.
The same for me. 2 trains. I get it.
Is your Harlem a student town as well, or?
There are plenty of students there.
Yeah, it's been gentrified.
Yeah, certain portions of it. Portions of it's still rough, but it depends. It's like I said, it covers a large swath of Manhattan. I mean,
well, you can do something now that you couldn't do 40 years ago, and that's walk down 125th Street. You couldn't do that 40 years ago.
I probably could have.
I could.
The rest of you probably would have to been with me, so I can say, no, cool, cool your just daddy-o. He's cool.
No, I was there. I was actually alive during that period. I was 12, but yeah, no one spoke like that, Barry. Thank you.
Only in the movies.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to use my job time turkey speech.
Yeah, no, you'd have gotten beat up.
Well, then.
Being able to walk down the street there, obviously, very.
Yeah. You'd have probably been dressed weird. You probably had pimp boots and all that stuff. Yeah, you'd have gotten beat up.
Did anybody ever say Daddy-o anywhere ever except in a movie in the 50s?
I hope not.
Late 50s, early 60s. That used to be cool.
Yeah.
Daddy-o. But the hip cats, mostly white kids.
Yeah.
Cool, Daddy-o.
Yeah.
It's all cool. Yeah.
Oh, quite often hear it in
watch some old Beanie and Cecil and pick up on that lingo.
Hey, you remember when the X-Men went to the hippie, not the hippie, the beatnik coffee shop in an early Kirby story? And they thought the Beast was so hip because of his big feet, and they were carrying him around. The beatniks were carrying him around. It's got to be in the first 8 issues because that's he drew the first 11, so it's got to be in one of those really early issues. It's a great little scene where the X-Men go to the village. They go to Greenwich Village to a beatnik coffee shop.
Because that was the cool thing to do.
We had some great dialogue in Captain Britain in 1977. The word governor turned up an awful lot.
Now, was it abbreviated GUV apostrophe N?
Yeah,
or-
that's the one. Yeah. Governor.
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 All right,
All
governor.
right, governor.
I think there might have been some trilbies as well.
I was a
Oof.
big fan of Thunderbirds, especially when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I remember little Penelope's butler saying "governor" a lot.
Yeah.
Milady.
Milady.
Yeah,
that
yes.
too. Milady.
Milady.
Lady.
I just watched a quick video where they were talking about how the characters used to say FAB all the time, and
Yeah.
everybody was trying to figure out what that meant.
Nobody
what it
knows.
stood for. No, it stands for nothing, and
Yeah.
it's meant to paraphrase fabulous,
FAB.
which was a big word back then.
Everything was fab back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they'd say FAB.
When we was fab.
Yeah,
The prefab
Back
four.
in better days.
there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Varian Grant. Varian, you should probably introduce yourself. You should probably have Indie Princess introduce herself as well.
I'll
Well,
go
that-
first while he's getting set up.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm the indie princess. I'm the one that you saw drunk last night on Backer Shots.
And the
Oh,
week
that's fun.
before that.
And the week
And the week
before
before.
that. Well, you guys got to stop having good campaigns.
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn it.
That's why. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's right. Blame the creators.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I am the ESP over at indievolt.com, and I am the creator and writer of lore, which, if you want to check out, is still in demand on Indiegogo.
Hey, did you guys see that justice? We won't let the alcoholic get away with it. I drank because of you. See that passing the buck? Hello, everybody. My name is Varian Grant, the founder of IndieVolt Media LLC. Started making comics in 2008, long time ago, before most of you were born. And yeah,
Sure.
It's I'm a father, husband, gamer, geek, comic book artist, creator, publisher, all that good stuff. Everything that apparently, I shouldn't have done. Apparently Steve Ditko advised he wanted to get in the comic industry either. He says, don't do it. There's a lot of risk, minimal reward.
Hey, Varian, I've been telling your topless story. It's a great story. I still, every time I tell it, I think nobody's going to believe it.
Well, I think that me and my friend used to have this saying that we didn't go on adventures, we went on misadventures.
Yeah,
because it's like how is this happening to us? How?
Well, that one was thrust upon you.
Yeah. Everything's thrust upon me. Look, everything. I'm a perpetual victim.
Do we have any radio numbers, buddy?
Yeah. Let me see. Give me a second.
Grind that up. Mm-hmm. And while we're at it, JD and Mike, if you want to pull up your campaigns, we'll get those covered.
Yeah,
JD,
sure.
you got a campaign about to start, right? JD,
Oh no, it's already started.
that's running. Okay, with a great pen.
Because I can't hold myself back.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go. It's become an addiction.
It is. There are days if I'm not running a campaign, I feel like I'm not doing anything.
Indie Princess is going to be the empress of funding at this state, an empire of getting comics more funding via alcohol. Yeah, much to the wear and tear on her throat. Yeah.
Lola, please start watering down the drinks. How does that sound?
I'll think about it.
Yeah, just please
You're
start
doing
watering
good,
down
man.
the drinks.
So glad to see you
JD
doing this good.
JD's campaign is rolling. We were just passing through 1 through 4, and some outcover. Tell us about it, JD.
All right, so we got Oswald. And he's on his.
Before you do that,
Go ahead.
84,742 people.
Ooh, nice.
We appreciate each and every one of you out there. Thank you for listening.
So no pressure. Put your
If you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, please hit that like button.
Yeah.
And let us know you
Yes.
appreciate us. Please subscribe over on YouTube. we're desperately looking to hit that 1,000 subscribers soon. So just so we can get monetized and take your super chats.
That's right. Then you can live by YouTube's rules.
Yes.
Ever changing rules.
Ever changing.
Yes, ever changing. Yes, they're fluid. So it's like everything else in life.
Yes.
Be like Bruce Lee, flow like water.
Exactly.
Yep.
Tell us more about your campaign, JD.
All right, so here we got Oswald. He's on his actually his second adventure. The first one was already done, but this is issues 1 through 4. This is self-contained story, and there's a catch-up level. You can get all 4 issues. This image here is we've already blown by 2 stretch goals. So this is a trading card that I'm putting out for the $1,500.
Wow.
This is for the
that's awesome.
Second card. So we blew that. That's the 2,000, and then at 2,500, we're gonna have this guy come up.
Golly.
Nice.
That's a cover right there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 cards that we're gonna and I'm looking to do a 9-card set so that the front of the cards will have all original artwork like this. Then the back of the card though is gonna have an image which I haven't revealed yet, which is gonna be in pieces. So you'd have to put them together to see the entire image. So if you got like one of those 9-card, sleeves, you put it in, you put them in order, and you have the image on the back. So I think that would look kind of cool.
I like that picture above.
Which one? This one?
I do. I love
one,
that.
That one right there.
That one right there.
Because I'm pretty sure Oswald there is on the same pose I do when I'm calling down how I'm grounding my kid.
Yeah, I like to refer to this as Oswald's finger of doom. This is actually illustrated by Jerome Jacinto. He's out of the Philippines, fantastic artist. He only does he's doing like video games now, but and yeah, he's hard to get. But I got him way back in the day before he started that career, so I was able to get a few covers out of him. So I got this and then 2 or 3 others.
That's
so
fantastic.
Jerome is awesome. This is done by a gentleman called Lariz. I don't really I don't know the rest of his name, but yeah, this is Lariz. He's actually really good. And then the first one, Randy might recognize this because this is actually the cover to the 3-page story that's in Indie Vault Revolt.
Yep.
So this is Aurelio Tillis, and I'm currently working with him on some comics. So hopefully those will come out in the future.
That's good, will come out in the future. That story is awesome. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, like I said, this is one of the trading cards, one of the 3 trading cards.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. This is the cover to the 3rd issue. And it's one of these. I don't even want to talk about the story too much. It's about the Calcians. Calcians are a race of individuals. Now, just to preface it, Oswald lives in the middle of Manhattan. He's on 54th and Park Avenue. So he lives on a mall, which is a divider between north and south traffic in Manhattan. And for
our radio audience, we should point out that Oswald's a mouse.
Yeah. Yes, Oswald's a mouse, so he's tiny. So everyone around him tends to also be tiny. So he deals with a lot of elves, he deals with a lot of fairies, and he lives in modern Midtown Manhattan. Humans, they just can't see them. They can't see, because of the glamour. They can't see the elves and fairies. The Calcians are a different race altogether. They live primarily in Central Park in New York. That's their stronghold, and what they did was they stole a key that was held by the Grogs, which is like a counter race to them.
Look at that.
Yeah. And they back when man first came on to North America, the Calcians and Grogs were already here. Once they saw man coming, they said, okay, our time is limited and we're doomed if we don't do something quick. So their most powerful mages got together. They formed a device that keeps them invisible from mankind. The Calcians got to keep the item, and they have a stronghold built around the item. But the Grogs have the key, and the key is constantly moving. And what had happened was the Calcians found out where the key was at, And of course, you always have some guy who's high up in the ranks, and they're like, "Hey, why don't we have the key?" So they break the treaty and they go and they grab the key. And this is the trouble that they're in. They find their way onto the mall, and they're fighting amongst themselves because they know there's this moral conundrum that they're not supposed to have this item. And the Grogs are coming after them rightfully, and and they're looking just to slaughter all of them and get back their property. And that's the story. And then Oswald's caught in the middle. And the other thing is that's very important in this is where Oswald learns how to really start to use magic. The Calcians are the ones that teach him. Calcians, their science is magic. So they teach Oswald, and Oswald becomes a student. Eventually, he becomes a very powerful sorcerer. So this is the genesis of that. All right, and then also we have, that's a pin that I'm offering up in the campaign. So that's kind of cool. And that's a hard enamel pin. And then this is the other thing we're offering up. This is an alternative cover to Passing Queens and Making Homes. This is more of a catch-up thing that I just put it in there. So if you have this series, you want these alternative covers, they're available to you. So that's that one. This is old story, and then this is the other cover. And these covers were done by Donnie Hadijawa and Carlos Moreno. Yeah. I work with a lot of artists, so sometimes I get a little confused as to who's who. Yeah, but yeah, this is a completely other story. This is a Passing Queens and Making Homes. There's a catch-up level, so if you wanted to buy all those books, those are available as well. And then I think that's pretty much it. We've done fairly well so far. We're 22 days into it. We're $2,400. Like I said, at $2,500 will unlock the next trading card, and then every $500 after that, I'm gonna add another trading card to it. So
sweet.
Yeah. So let's take that out of there. And then I just wanted to show one last thing. For the first 41 backers, I'm giving away this sticker. This sticker. This thing, that's a coaster. So,
nice.
I got that made up. And then we have this, which is an acrylic pin. Right? So it's a little pin. So for the first 41 physical backers, and I think there's still 19 slots available. It says there's 50 backers on the campaign, but most of them are digital. I have a lot of digital backers. I guess I have a lot of people from overseas buying the books. And yeah, so if you want to buy it physically, you get these items as well as all the other items for the first 41 backers.
My kid did have a question for you when he's seen the stuff. I got a package from JD yesterday. I ordered the Tall Tales collection. It showed up yesterday. And I was really upset because my postman just put it on my porch in the rain. Thankfully, it hadn't been raining that long.
There we go.
But he asked me.
Oh, there you go.
He said, "Dad, could you ask?" And I'm pretty sure my kid does this to troll. So I think I'm raising a troll.
Mm-hmm.
Could you ask JD who would win in a fight between Mickey Mouse, a Fantasia Mickey Mouse, and Oswald?
Oswald would stomp him into the ground like you wouldn't believe. Sorry.
Yes.
But I mean, if we're just talking about powers, and also it depends if we're talking about early Oswald or later Oswald. All right, because if we're talking about this Oswald, is much later, much more powerful. That Oswald would stomp poor Mickey Mouse into the ground. If you're talking about now Oswald, yeah.
What if Mickey was in his biplane with his guns?
Yeah, I still don't think he'd make it.
This is talk about Mickey.
Yeah. Did y'all not see the Finger of Doom?
Yeah, this is the only way Mickey makes it if he breaks out his bank account. Then you can just drop that pallet of cash on him. That would
Mickey Mouse's superpower.
Oh no, they're gonna
that and his lawyers.
Yep.
JD Joe says JD is almost at the point where he needs a who's who of Oswald.
Yeah, I'm getting
Oswald Wiki.
Yeah.
No, he'll sell it. Don't get over it for free.
No, there is one of those out there somewhere online. If you type in the Oswald Chronicles, there is someone had done a wiki a while ago.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. You got a wiki.
Yeah, it's not a wiki.
Look at you.
It's one of these other websites. Yeah.
Wikis are
My
tight.
wiki's bigger than yours.
Personal wikis are tight.
Yep, you can have your wiki, sir.
Mike Jimmy, you currently have a campaign rolling. Life on
Yeah,
Korra,
we're doing
number 4.
super well.
Inner
Yeah.
Talents.
So, Love and Korra is a series of short stories set in a very alien world, which is a core with continents orbiting around it and a single cloud that gives water to everything. And this is already the 4th issue. And this one is going to be completely underwater. We are currently 410% funded. So, super excited. And earlier today, I added a couple of new stretch goals. We got a couple unlocked already. So we hit $2,000. So every physical backer is going to get a 2-inch patch of the core, as well as an A4 poster, which is 8 1/4 by 11, which is the size of the comic as well. Then at 30 backers, which we are 3 away from, we are going to add bookmarks with additional information about the creatures. So we're going to start at 30 backers with the Messias, the creatures in Love and Korra 4. Then at 35, the ones from Love and Korra 1, 40 for Love and Korra 2, and 45 for Love and Korra 3. At 60 backers, we are going to add 4 extra pages with extra world building stuff, fluff text, all the good stuff that you don't need to read the stories, but I really enjoy to make. And at $4,500, we are going to add plushies to the tiers, to the perks. And there's already a couple of plushies available, which are going to be super exclusive, which are 16-inch Octas plushies, who is the main character from Love and Korra 3. And there's only going to be 5. 1 has already been taken. And these will never be remade in this size again. They're not cheap. I'm not making any money off of them, but they're about $180. The reason that they're so expensive is because they're made to order. So it's literally per one that I'm ordering. But yeah, if you want something as unique as this rock dude, and you want something that only you will have, pretty much, there's only going to be 5 people in the world that will be able to get this. This is your chance.
Sweet.
Nice.
I have a question. Your stretch goals
Yes.
are in your stretch goals are in dollars, but everything else is in euros. Why is
That's
that?
because it's easier to get dollar stretch goals for me because euros is a stronger currency, and because most of the people backing on Indiegogo are from the United States, and they see it in United States dollars anyway. I think I'm around $2,400 right now. So it makes more sense for me to go for backer goals and dollars for the stretch goals.
You answered my question, and I understand.
Awesome. So a little thing that was a big issue on the previous campaign was shipping, of course, because I'm from the Netherlands. We managed to get it down to only $10 for your physical orders. So instead of 23 euros or about $30, you're paying only 10, which means for about $22, you can already get issue 4, or 15 euros. And the complete catch-up tier is only, I think, like $40 or like $50 in total. And then you get 4 stories, one of which is 22 pages, the rest is 32, and that's the standard size we're going to keep to from now on. And you're going to get a complete story every single time. So every story stands alone and just explores a new kind of creature, explores a new part of the world. And yeah, it's just exploring the world together with the reader. Like, we don't know what's coming next, and that's the fun of it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's a very unique idea for a book, a series.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to feel about his stronger currency remark, even though it's true. Kind of hurt. I just from now on.
I can't help it. It's not in my hands. But a euro is worth more than $1.
Illegally underpinned by the World Bank. Sorry. But
Yeah.
I just got one thing to say to you guys. There's one thing to say to you guys.
America.
And then
I'm not sure exactly what you were trying to say with that.
All I was gonna say, don't talk too much about the World Bank, because we'll just get pulled off real quick all of a sudden.
Yeah. Don't even say the words.
Right. Just be nothing.
Yep.
Back on Oswald, Glenn B. Fleming's asking, does Oswald later get accused of a crime he didn't commit?
Yeah, there is actually that. That's the Trial of Oswald. That's a chapbook. Yeah.
Glenn was asking because he's done a couple of books on the JFK assassination.
Oh, gotcha. There you go.
Speaking of the name Oswald, Oswald the Rabbit is why Disney became so obsessed with copyright.
Yeah,
because he created Oswald the Rabbit and lost the rights to it.
And they don't have them.
Yeah,
lost it to Lance Studios.
They got it back now, right?
They got it back,
yeah. They kind of went into public domain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's in public domain.
Yeah.
We had a near where I live. We had a little restaurant called Mickey's Mousetrap, and it was there for a good 15, 20 years before Disney noticed and said no. You got to change your name.
Yeah, you're only good on stuff like that until they find you. We had a local bar around here called Jiminy Crickets. It didn't last more than 6 months before they got their cease and desist.
You took me to that one
Let logo
restaurant.
off your window, boys. Send the troops in.
Randy took me to that 1 hour restaurant, Blondie's, and you said for a while they had the Blondie logo.
Yeah,
they had the character.
Oh,
the
really?
Blondie face on it, just long enough to, I think, be told better. and they removed it. But there's still a, I think it's called Dog Patch way up in the Upper Peninsula, and they have, I think Al Cap approved of it. They have a bunch of Little Abner pictures all over the wall, and so people walk in and go, "Who's that?" They have no idea who it is.
They need to bring back Wolfgal, that character from Little Abner.
Yeah, I'm not up on Al Cap.
Yeah, you got to Google Wolfgal, Al Cap, Wolfgal, great character, and
I know Schmoo.
Yeah, had his own comic.
Yeah,
2 issues, I think.
Classic stuff. All right, everybody, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to the 20th of June's edition of Sunday Funnies. What?
Can I just jump in?
Of course.
Just to say my campaign, I have a campaign. It's still live.
All right. You do.
I was going to roll around to that when we got back to you, but that's fine. We've got it right here.
It's in demand, and it's stopping on the 2nd of July. So anybody out there who hasn't got a book yet, go get one. Go get one now.
You can still get that classic copy of Only Death Can Save Us.
With a rather lovely matte finish to the outside and fantastic uncoated, so that you can smell the ink on the inside. Yeah, there's the guy. There it is.
Very amazing book.
There's still copies available if you want to get that version of it before Arrow Comics turns up.
It's still got that smell.
And it would be great. Smell of success. And it would be very cool if I could get to 250 backers before the end of the campaign. So thanks very much to all those that have backed so far. And that would be very cool. And of course, if you want, there is an option where you can get prints by some rather marvelous guest artists, or 2-for-1 and save on the postage with your friends. There you go.
Sweet.
That's Only Death Can Save Us, available now for only the next couple of weeks over on Indiegogo.
2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks. So get over there now if you're going to go.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Russ, and thanks so much for being on our show. Since we got you there, why don't you tell folks how that they can get a hold of you?
Right. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. You can find me on the Twitter and the Fleece Book, where I'll be more than happy to answer questions and get into conversations about comic books and comic book art, but no drama, not interested in it. You can find me at russleach.com, comicbookblackbelt.com, and you can find out more about Only Death Can Save Us at onlydeathcansavus.com. The website will remain up constantly. I'll be going into the second book in September. That will be the campaign then. And there's some very special bits and pieces coming up for that. You can see new artwork being produced every Monday night. So it's a Monday afternoon, evening in the States, or Monday night, late Monday night, 11 o'clock during in the UK. You can also find me on Fulton Land. That's Joe Fulton's channel, because I'm also producing the Outliers comic book as well. And all of this has a theme running through it, is that I like comics the way they used to be in the Bronze Age. So you can find out more about my art all those places. Subscribers are always welcome. Thank you.
Sweet.
Hey, Russ, I got a question for you.
Go for it.
That drawing that you have, are those boobs
Where?
above
Where?
that person's head? Yeah.
Yeah, they're boobs. Boobs.
Yeah.
Nice.
I sometimes I put some of the curves in early, just to make sure
to motivate you.
So those curves,
We've clarified the nipples. So
yeah,
some curves should always come first.
Yeah.
I want to bring up the fact that Lola's the one that mentioned it and seen it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, everybody else saw it. They just didn't say.
JD, how can folks get a hold of you?
You can find me under JD Calderon on Facebook, Twitter, DeviantArt, Instagram, Twitter. You can find me on YouTube for my own channel, Indie Comics Explained, where I will be joined by Mr. Randy Zim, Mr. Grant, hopefully, Miss Princess. And I think Rush showed up one time. All you guys are always invited. Shoot me a DM. You can always come on. Charles, I know I have to get back to you. I have to do a one-on-one with you.
Yes, please.
Yes, and Jimmy, we gotta get you on at some point.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Right.
Always in for that.
Yeah, so there you go. That's where you can find me.
And look for we were just passing through, right? Over on
Yes, look
Kickstarter.
on Kickstarter. Look it under for We Were Just Passing Through. It's part of the Oswald Chronicles series of books and stories.
Fantastic. Mike, Jimmy, how can folks find you?
You can find me currently on Indiegogo with Loud and Cora 4. If you want issue 1, 2, and 3, then you can go to our website, fairiesandents.com. You can find me on Twitter as @and_ents. I am on Facebook as Mike Jimmy Lorcia de Bruin, or Fairies and Ents as well. And yeah, hit me up. Ask me any questions you have. If you're like, hey, this creature would be cool in Life and Cora, hit me up too, because I'm always in for hearing those kinds of ideas. And yeah, I'm always in for a chat. If you want me on your show, by all means, hit me up. I'd love to.
Great. Charles, how can folks find you?
Indiegogo, Rammer, right now, RAMMUR. And there's a Facebook page for me, Charles Santino. There's a Facebook page for Rammer, which is called Rammer and Tops Tales of the Police State. I'm on Twitter as Charles Santino, and I am on Instagram as Charles Santino.
Okay. See, Michael, how can folks find you?
Same places, Facebook, Twitter. I'll be doing Wednesday nights at 8 Eastern on Wednesday Night Wham for Silverline. So you can check that out when you get a chance. And yeah, that's about it. And of course, Future Arrow comics. Yeah.
Calico Shard.
Yeah.
Indie Princess, are you there?
I'm here.
How can folks find you?
Best way to track me down, go to Linktree, Indie_Princess, and you can find all my links there.
Or the emergency room.
Nice.
No.
And don't forget, Lure. Lure is still on demand over on Indiegogo. Lure.
It is.
Yes. Varian, how can folks find?
Well, KYD_V on Twitter, Varian Ground on Facebook and every other place. Last Call Comics and a publishing company. LEDG.us if you want to get your independent comic in stores. IndieVolt.com. All those good places. I can be found anywhere. I would not suggest it today, though, because I'm in an incredible amount of pain. And I'm about to take this here medicine. And if you talk to me within the next 3 hours, I'm not accountable for what I say. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
That might be the best 3 hours to talk to him in.
There we go.
Yeah.
Of course, you might not understand what he's talking about, but you can talk to him.
That's okay.
Yeah. And again,
most times I talk to him, I don't understand what he's saying anyway.
Oh,
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And again, folks, we want to thank you so much for listening in on today's Sunday Funnies. We're here every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, trying to talk about the more fun and whimsical side of funny books. Want to thank our panel, everybody that was here today, for showing up. All of our radio listeners out there, 80,000, huh? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
84,000.
Wow.
We deeply appreciate you all.
84,000.
So, and again, Arrow Comics is coming out in August, starting in August, with the hybrids from Luke Stone, the Sons of Gods. We'll be doing Revolt on a regular basis. That'll be a black and white anthology book with all sorts of different stories in it. With the first issue carries a Chris Scalf cover, kind of celebrating Ginger Star, who will be a running feature that'll be going through many of our books and little chapters in the back. Also in August, HeroBot Zero will be premiering. A 3-foot-tall giant robot with a bad attitude, fighting monsters and defending his city from all sorts of menaces. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for you to see that. And also, of course, Only Death Can Save Us will also be bi-monthly, available starting in August, and 32-page chapters coming from Arrow Comics from the great Russ Leach and Company. So, and then in September, Hybrids 2 comes out, Revolt 2 comes out, as well as Paragon from J.R. Harris and myself. Looking forward to showing you some great superhero action with a modern twist. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, Calico of Shards, a very high concept fantasy book that I can't wait for you to read. It's going to be a lot of fun. Talking cats, trading elves, large centaur warrior women, and small barbarian fairies. All sorts of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun for you to read that and to see it. And that's what Arrow plans on doing probably for the foreseeable future. We hope that you'll enjoy that. All of these products, of course, are going to be available solely through Liberty Entertainment Distribution, LEDG.us. So if you are a retailer or if you know a retailer, please tell them to go over there and take a look at that LEDG.us. It's a different kind of distributor, like we discussed earlier, with a straight to shelf. What do you call it? Ship to shelf?
Yep, ship to shelf.
Ship to shelf program. Everything's backed and boarded as you take it out of the box and protect it in a nice, sturdy Liberty box. And anything that any retailer orders is available immediately on hand, shipped straight to the store for them to display and sell. We're here to help service retailers and to help them make money, because when they make money, we make money. And when both of us make money, the industry just gets better and bigger. So let's do that and get out there and help each other. So, and then we'll be back Tuesday. Varian and myself will be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for the Live Wire program, The Indie Princess and Daphne. And Varian will be back Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Geekgasm. Varian and myself and Daphne will be there Thursday morning for the Breakfast Buzz. There's also backer shots on Saturday night at 9 p.m. I believe that the Indie Princess provides for her channel.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Did I say 8? 9? 9
9
p.m. Is there? I take it there's not a special issues today because you'll be recuperating.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's no special issues today, unless I get upset.
Unless you get mad.
I gotta put a suit on and.
Well, if you're not feeling it, dude, you need to take the time off. So
yeah. Plus, I just took the pill, so today's special issues will be brought to you by some BS.
Chemical enhancement if it comes by at all. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Okay, we deeply appreciate you all for listening again. Thanks so much. Buy Arrow Comics, buy Indie Comics. Please leave this industry in better shape than what you found it, as Varian always says. Look for, we were just passing through on Indiegogo. Look for Rammer on Indiegogo. Look for Life on Korra on Kickstarter, right?
Yep. No, Life on Korra is on Indiegogo as well.
Life on Korra on Indiegogo, and Only Death Can Save Us for just the next 2 weeks over on Indiegogo as well. Russ's books will always be crowdfunded and fulfilled long before they come out as Arrow Comics. So make sure you get up on that, especially if you're following that story. It's a great story. So
buy them all.
Buy them all.
Buy them all.
Buy them all.
Get them all.
All right, folks, that's it. We're going out the same way we came in. We also have a great little Arrow ad that might be popping up in some of the books and online shortly to remind folks of the different products that we have coming out. Looking forward to that. And there'll be, for more information on that, you can go over to the Arrow Comics 4.0 Facebook page, over to our YouTube channel, where I'm probably going to be screen sniping some of this conversation where we introduce the products that we've got coming out from Arrow, just so everybody knows over there what it looks like. We have a link tree set up thanks to Meredith Logren and Nita Lanning are helping us out with our online coverage. There's a Arrow Comics 4.0 Twitter page. There's a Facebook page, Arrow Comics 4.0. And if you want to talk to me directly, I am available on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman, under Randy Zim on the Twitter. You can contact me at any time. And I'd be more than happy to help you out, especially in regards to Arrow Comics. So, folks, take care. We'll see you soon. We're going out the same way we came in. You'll be able to see some of the other great covers that we've got coming up in the next couple of months. And we wish you well. Any last words from anyone?
Stay awesome.
Buy more comics.
Buy more
Especially
comics.
ours.
Especially ours.
Yes.
Especially ours. Yes.
Take care, everyone.
That's what.
How dare you?
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked?